Every year, drivers gamble with their lives by running from police, turning roads into arenas of chaos and risk. Tonight, we break down 6 of the most intense motorcycle chases caught on camera. From staggering speeds on American interstates to a fatal pursuit in Sweden, each case shows how quickly adrenaline can flip into disaster and why no one truly outruns the consequences. Number 1. Interstate 40, Arkansas, November 8, 2023. On a chilly November day in 2023, Interstate 40 in Arkansas turned into a racetrack when a state trooper clocked a green motorcycle weaving dangerously through traffic. The rider wasn't just speeding, he was lane splitting illegally and pushing the machine to a staggering 142 miles per hour. At that velocity, even the smallest mistake could mean instant death for the rider and disaster for anyone sharing the road.
This could be a black motorcycle running and running.
We found at 134, speed about 130.
The trooper activated his lights, but the motorcycle didn't slow. Instead, it accelerated, weaving from lane to lane in reckless defiance. Cars around it braked sharply, creating waves of disruption across the interstate. In moments, the pursuit transformed into a high-risk chase that forced troopers to act quickly to contain the threat before it escalated into tragedy. A second officer, stationed along Interstate 430, anticipated the suspect's route. As the motorcycle exited onto the connector, the officer made a bold, dangerous move, cutting across the median to block the rider's path. It was a risky tactic rarely seen in motorcycle pursuits, but it worked. The rider's speed dropped dramatically, from triple digits to barely above 40. For the first time, officers had leverage.
He wrecked out.
Dashcams recorded the chaotic scene as traffic slowed and officers worked to box the motorcycle in. The rider, trapped with nowhere to go, finally pulled over. Once in custody, he admitted he had just bought the bike days earlier and called his decision to run stupid. That word hardly captured the scope of what could have happened.
Hey, shut the f*** up! Hey, can I take this helmet off?
Hey, shut up! Hey, I don't give a fuck. We're cutting it.
Inside his backpack, officers discovered a handgun and ammunition. The reckless joyride instantly escalated into a felony case. Charges piled up: felony fleeing with endangerment, reckless driving, speeding more than 15 miles above the limit, unsafe lane changes, no insurance, no motorcycle endorsement, and failure to display a license plate.
I don't have much to say to y'all, but I apologize. That was stupid. I shouldn't have.
You're right.
I shouldn't have put y'all shit at it.
Gun. Ronald, take a picture of where this gun is.
Let me get my camera.
Yes, sir.
How do you run off the road? I blocked this lane and the shoulder.
That's the only reason the damn pursuit stopped.
Yeah. He can either stop or run off the road.
The video of the pursuit spread quickly online, not because of a fiery crash, but because of how narrowly catastrophe was avoided. In a chase that could have ended in death, both officers and drivers were spared by a combination of skill, quick thinking, and a risky but effective tactic. Case number 2, motorcycle theft pursuit, April 20th, 2025. What started as a call about a stolen motorcycle quickly turned into one of the most intense urban pursuits of the year. Patrol units were alerted after a red motorcycle was reported stolen earlier that morning. Within minutes, officers identified the suspect weaving recklessly through crowded streets, determined to outrun the law. From the first turn of the throttle, it was clear this would be no routine stop. Dash and body cameras recorded the rider darting between cars, blasting through intersections and swerving into narrow alleys to shake the patrol units. Each maneuver brought the chase closer to disaster as bystanders scrambled out of the way and traffic lurched to a halt. Officers knew the risks. A high-speed motorcycle pursuit in a city can lead to carnage within seconds. But abandoning the chase risked allowing a dangerous and potentially armed suspect to escape. Using radio coordination, units created a rolling perimeter, predicting the rider's movements and cutting off escape routes. The footage showed the cat-and-mouse game unfold, with police closing in every time the suspect tried to slip away. The pursuit stretched on for more than 30 minutes, tearing through residential neighborhoods, marketplaces, and main roads. Roadside stalls were knocked over in the chaos, and at least one vendor stand was clipped by the motorcycle. Miraculously, no civilians were injured, but the property damage told the story of how close the city had come to disaster. The chase reached its climax when the rider abandoned the motorcycle in a narrow alley and tried to flee on foot. Cameras captured the sprint through tight passageways, officers vaulting obstacles in pursuit. It ended abruptly when the suspect was tackled and pinned to the ground by multiple officers, finally bringing the chase to a close. Case 3, St. Michael, Texas, May 3, 2025. The quiet community of St. Michael, Texas, became the stage for a high-speed pursuit that tested both nerves and tactics. Officers spotted a silver motorcycle bearing Arkansas plates, weaving through traffic and ignoring multiple traffic regulations. The rider, later identified as George William, chose flight over compliance, and the race was on.
Pull over. Over, taking St. Michael Drive. 1037.
Within seconds of being signaled to pull over, William twisted the throttle and launched into a reckless dash down the highway. Dashcam footage showed the motorcycle surging to speeds of over 115 miles per hour on slick, rain-dampened roads. Passing cars were forced to swerve aside as the rider weaved across lanes, creating a rolling hazard for everyone nearby.
Coming off on the 59 exit, speed's 115. What are you gonna do here?
Motorcycle pursuits are among the most dangerous events officers can face. The balance between public safety and apprehension is razor thin. Yet William gave officers little choice. His erratic maneuvers and deliberate swerves made it clear that he was not only resisting arrest, but also endangering countless drivers.
Took the exit, stand by. Knocked him off the road. He's got back northbound on Larry Road.
As the chase unfolded, officers adjusted their tactics. Instead of a direct pursuit, they worked to box the rider in, using multiple patrol cars to create pressure from both sides. The strategy slowed the motorcycle, but each time the suspect broke free, he accelerated back to highway speeds. The rain-slick surface only magnified the danger, as one mistake could send the motorcycle sliding into traffic.
Going off-road, near Bend Road.
The climax came near exit 213, where the rider suddenly veered back onto Route 2148 at 70 miles per hour. With precision timing, patrol units executed a containment maneuver, pressing the motorcycle into a narrow gap. Forced off balance, William lost control and was brought to a stop without a catastrophic crash. On the ground, he was quickly restrained. The rider attempted to justify his actions, claiming he was rushing to work and dealing with a personal emergency. But those excuses carried little weight against the evidence of his reckless dash. He was charged with speeding, resisting arrest, operating without insurance, and failing to wear protective gear, including a helmet.
Careful.
I'm sorry, y'all.
You're good.
The footage revealed more than a chase. It revealed the razor-thin margin between chaos and control. For William, the ride ended in handcuffs. For the community, it was a reminder that one man's reckless choice could have cost many others their lives. Case 4, Stockholm, Sweden, April 25, 2012. The streets of Stockholm became the backdrop for one of Europe's most notorious motorcycle pursuits. A young man on a green Kawasaki ZX-10R sport bike was spotted violating traffic laws. What seemed at first like a routine stop quickly escalated when officers realized the rider lacked a motorcycle license and was pushing a 1,000 CAC superbike to its limits. The moment patrol units moved in, the rider twisted the throttle, launching the machine forward in a deafening roar. Speeds climbed well past 200 kilometers per hour as the ZX-10R blasted down city streets. Ground units struggled to maintain visual contact, forcing police to deploy a helicopter equipped with infrared cameras. The chase, which began as a violation, now stretched into a high-intensity aerial and ground operation. From above, the helicopter tracked the rider weaving through traffic, taking sharp corners at impossible speeds, and darting into suburban stretches in a desperate bid to escape. The bike's aftermarket exhaust echoed through narrow streets, drawing the attention of stunned residents and bystanders. Yet the more the rider pushed, the more errors crept into his movements. At that velocity, control was fleeting. For more than 30 minutes, radio chatter recorded the coordinated containment efforts. Officers attempted to predict his route, placing ground units strategically at intersections. But the motorcycle's raw power allowed him to slip past again and again. The footage captured the intensity of the pursuit. Sirens wailing below, rotor blades thundering above, and a lone rider defying every order to stop. The chase ended not with a cinematic escape, but with a violent crash. Approaching a traffic barrier at high speed, the rider failed to slow down. The ZX-10R slammed into the obstruction, nearly destroying the motorcycle and causing hours of disruption as emergency crews worked the scene. The rider did not survive. The Stockholm pursuit became infamous across Europe, widely shared as both a cautionary tale and a case study in police tactics. It demonstrated how modern technology, helicopters, infrared cameras, and coordinated ground units can corner even the fastest of machines. But it also revealed the tragic reality. No matter the horsepower or skill, reckless speed against the law always narrows down to two possible outcomes: capture or catastrophe. Number 5, Crawford County, Arkansas, June 10, 2024. The rolling back roads of Crawford County, Arkansas turned into the stage for a dangerous pursuit when Trooper Rodney Dunn spotted a motorcyclist riding without a helmet. What began as a safety violation quickly escalated into a high-speed chase across Old River Road, with the rider refusing to stop. The suspect pushed the bike to nearly 90 miles per hour, weaving across both lanes and darting past cars with inches to spare. Dashcam footage showed the motorcycle swerving left and right in an attempt to shake the pursuing patrol car. Each reckless maneuver magnified the danger, especially on two wheels where a single skid could mean a fatal crash. Trooper Dunn, a veteran of high-risk pursuits, made the critical decision to hold distance rather than force an early stop. Unlike with cars, the PIT maneuver against a motorcycle could be instantly deadly. Instead, Dunn relied on pressure and positioning, steering the suspect toward less populated stretches of road. The footage captured the tense balance: a patrol cruiser trailing just behind a weaving rider, both machines surging through blind corners.
That motorcycle. I don't have a picture of it yet. See, dispatch, I have a bitch. Tell past the tractor trailer, still no traffic oncoming or our direction now. Speed's 86.
The pursuit intensified when the rider faked compliance, slowing as if to surrender before suddenly accelerating through a stop sign. The trick only deepened the chase, but Dunn adjusted quickly, refusing to be lured into a reckless response. Using terrain and road curves to his advantage, he funneled the motorcycle onto narrower paths where escape options dwindled.
Just ran right through the stop sign. We're still west back on the gravel road.
At last, the pressure broke the rider's nerve. On a tight stretch near John Junction, the motorcyclist lost momentum and pulled to the side. Officers converged, ordering him to the ground, and the chase ended without further violence. The suspect was taken into custody on charges of fleeing, multiple traffic violations, and operating without proper safety equipment.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. You're a dumbass. You know that? I will shoot you in the fucking head if you move. Do you understand that? Put your left hand behind your back.
Can't hear you, sir.
Put your left hand behind your back. Behind your back. Stay just like that till I get you to do something else. Do you understand?
Understand.
When questioned later, the rider admitted he had fled simply because he was bored and wanted to make the day more exciting. That trivial excuse stood in stark contrast to the risk created for himself, the pursuing officers, and every driver forced to react to his reckless flight. Case 6, Atlanta, Georgia, February 12, 2022. On February 12, 2022, the bustling freeways of Atlanta became the scene of a chase that showcased just how quickly a motorcycle pursuit can spiral out of control. An officer on patrol near the southbound entrance ramp of I-75/85 spotted a 2021 Honda CBR 1000RR blasting past at breathtaking speed. The rider ignored both traffic lights and flashing emergency signals, setting the stage for a pursuit that would stretch across multiple highways. The CBR 1000RR, one of the fastest production motorcycles in the world, was pushed to its limits. Speeds exceeded 160 miles per hour as the rider darted between vehicles, weaving through heavy traffic with reckless abandon. Dashcams and aerial surveillance recorded the chaos as ground units struggled to maintain visual contact while the police helicopter relayed precise updates overhead. As the pursuit spilled eastward onto I-20, officers tightened coordination. Every maneuver carried immense risk. The rain-slick road surface, dense clusters of cars, and the sheer velocity of the motorcycle left no room for error. For officers, the priority became less about closing distance and more about anticipating where the rider might make a mistake. That mistake came sooner than expected. Exiting at Turner Hill Road, the rider attempted to maintain extreme speed while taking sharp turns through suburban routes. The footage showed the CBR weaving through blind intersections, the roar of its engine drowning out sirens. In a final push to evade capture, the motorcycle collided with the rear of a patrol vehicle strategically positioned along the rider's path. The impact was minor compared to the velocity involved, but it was enough. The rider lost control, slid off balance, and was immediately surrounded by pursuing officers. The man, identified as Burry A. Bryan, was taken into custody without further resistance. He was charged with speeding, reckless driving, and fleeing law enforcement, adding to an already long list of traffic violations. The chase became a case study in both risk and restraint. Officers had allowed the helicopter to track much of the pursuit, rather than forcing unnecessary contact at highway speeds. And in the end, it was the suspect's own miscalculation, colliding with a patrol car, that sealed his arrest.